for everybody today. Amen. In Genesis 26, verse number 1, it says there was a famine in the land. Besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham, and Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Now, first thing you got to realize is that the Philistines are still our enemy, okay? They've always been our enemy. And so what's going on? There's a famine. And like as I said in worship, when everything's flowing with milk and honey, and everything's just puppies and rainbows, everything's good. But when famine comes, when things dry up, then we tend to take a couple of steps that we don't need to. And the first one is, I looked up the word Gerar. And the word Gerar literally means to ruminate or chew your cud. I grew up on a farm, and y'all may not know this, but cows have two stomachs. They have one they graze and fill up with, and then later on when they're not, they're sitting over there on the side and they're doing this. They burped up something that they swallowed a long time ago, and they're chewing on it. And here's a picture. There you go. And that's what we look like sometimes because we take our eyes off our vision because it's not working out. We're in a famine. Things are not going right. Bad things are happening. And so we start looking around and chewing on what mistakes we made, who hurt our feelings, what didn't go my way. And I'm just chewing on it. And while he's in this predicament, this is first called 811. Y'all know what that means? 811, you call 811, it says do not dig. Okay, I knew those are strings. If you're going to dig, you have to call 811. So that you don't dig up power lines and stuff. I knew Travis would know. So your 811 first is, it's time to quit chewing on it and vomit it up once and for all. I don't care what keeps coming back up that you chew on and save for later. Vomit it out. Let's go for another pile. Let's go for another field. Amen? Next page. Genesis, the next verse, and the Lord appeared to him and said, do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land of which I shall tell you. Now, this is another thing. First thing we do is we look back. We start thinking about what's happening, where we're at, instead of looking where we're supposed to be going and walking toward our vision. We start, thinking. And I got news for everybody in this room. Your 3-pound brain can't figure out everything in the universe. Best thing you do is just let your mind go blank, like Barney told Andy. And so, but he said, do not go down to Egypt. And the words go down to Egypt, this is fascinating. Go down means to settle for less. Wow. And the word Egypt means a place with limits. A place with limits. Wow. So what he's saying is that you're in the middle of this famine, you're in the middle of this hard time. The first thing you need to quit doing is looking around and remembering what wrong happened and what you haven't done yet and who ain't given you your love yet. And the second thing is you need to quit whittling away at your vision and your hope because it didn't look like it's going to get here. So you're going to start settling for less and expecting less and putting limits on God. Because you know what? The only thing that's going to stop him is you. Right. Next page. It literally means to descend to a limit. Descend to a limit. That's what it means to go to Egypt. Next page. Call 811 number 2. Don't be tempted to settle. Take less. Give up. Compromise. Just because, y'all hear me today? Yes. Just because your present temporary, everybody say temporary, circumstances appear to not be producing at this very moment, it's not time for you to phone it in and quit. It's not time for you to start considering other alternatives. That was the point behind the attack. Put your nose to the wind, suck it up, put your big boy pants on, and keep it going. I got breaking news for us here. We exit the cool Isaac story. My hands are slipping. We exit the cool Isaac story because later on in this verse, something happens that I'm just totally amazed at. God shows up and says, Isaac, you're my man. As I was with you. Hang on just a second. As I was with you. As I was with Abraham, I'll be with you, and you're my covenant bearer, and you're doing all this great. And it just makes Isaac look like, wow, he's the guy, man. And then the next verse, when he comes into the presence of Abimelech, he tells everybody that his wife is his sister. Because he figures they're going to kill him. Kill her! Yeah. Wow, what a guy. What a man of God. What a patriarch. And I'm thinking, the only reason that's in this story is to let you know you don't got to be perfect in everything. Just be available. Just do what he says. Right? Okay, now next page. And so Isaac said that when he got there, he sowed in the land, and he reaped in the same year 100-fold. Right? And the Lord blessed him, and he began to prosper. Now watch this. Before even God blessed him, he sowed and reaped 100-fold. And there are things, you're waiting for some lottery number to come along. You know what? If you just do what he says, he's already prepared to increase you by 100-fold. If you'll just start learning to tithe, give offerings, he's ready to blow you up. Then he was blessed, and this is where it gets funny. It said he began to prosper, continued to prosper until he was very prosperous. That's big, big, big right there. Every time that prosper comes in, that's a multiplier on the last one. He's trying to show you this guy was rich.
Yeah, that's good.
What does rich mean to me? It used to be having a big bank account. Now it just means everything works.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like if I just crank it up and go without some light coming on, or the other day I'm trying to get out of the chair, and Kim worked on a wedding all week, like slave labor, and so she said, "Would you like to come see it?" I thought, well, so I got in her little car. I'm not supposed to be driving. I'm doing a lot of things I'm not supposed to be doing, so don't tell her. So I'm in the car like this, driving with one hand. Pepe's over here. What was I thinking bringing him anyway? And so Pep's over there, and he looks like Max on the Grinch that stole Christmas. And so all of a sudden, the phone rings. So I've got the phone up here I've already missed the place 3 times. And I'm trying to turn around, hold the phone, hold the wheel, and about then, Pepe figures out how to roll the window down.
On the other side.
I'm speeding down the highway, I'm going to grab a tail.
Not multitasking.
And so when I got to the wedding venue, I was a little terse. So what happened? What?
Did you video that? We need to see.
Okay, yeah, that was really, I'm not kidding you. It was exactly, and the phone fell on the floorboard. Always under the seat. Never where you can find it, right? There's a magnet in them that they put it out where it goes right under the seat. Anyway.
You want a mic stand?
I do. My hand's going to sleep. I can't handle that phone. So that's another joy of this. I'm having to do everything left-handed. This hand goes to sleep all the time. Okay. So y'all feel sorry for me yet? I might just carry this around like, Eric said. I just need some tissues, some straws. Well, here's the thing. I can't stand it. I'm not moving. All right. I'll fill it in. Every rabbit. The point is that when Isaac got there, there's a marked difference. He's blowing and going, and everybody's standing around. There's a famine! Have you ever forgotten that? And here he's rolling in, hey, look at my crop. Well, guess what? The people of Abimelech and Gerar, they're not really happy with this thing. And and we don't admit that. It's like when somebody, I remember Matt Hill's here, and if you're here watching, Matt Hill told the story and said they actually went to a deal where they, you start selecting keys and there's a car to be given away, and they got down between it was him and another guy, and that guy lost, and they gave him a choice between swapping the keys, and he swapped, and he cranked up the car, and he won, and you think, he's driving around in a new car, and you think he's going, man, Matt, you're so blessed.
Yeah.
And everybody's going, great, that's great. My car's been falling apart for 5 years now, and I've duct taped it, coat hangered it to death, but glad you walked here and going, you've been in a Christian 20 minutes, and you've got your little car. Well, I'm glad to see that. Right. And sometimes that exists when you're, and so I had somebody, and my daughter-in-law told me yesterday, she got a new job, and Mom, you shouldn't tell me stuff. But I told her this yesterday. I said, you know, everywhere she's gone, she's been a travel nurse, and she makes friends like that.
Of course, yes.
But now she's in Nashville, and she said, the place I'm at, they don't like me. And I don't understand. I said, Emily, because you're carrying the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
You're walking in with this big thing that makes them feel bad for their sin. And you're not even aware of it. And this is what was going on with Isaac. And so he's in this situation. So I want to talk to you about this for a second. Next page. Because what does that, you know, this is the problem that I finally, yeah! Okay. This is going to be the most watched one ever, I think. I look like Freddie Mercury there on half of it. Okay. God,
It's all valid, right?
hang with me. Here's the point. You know, the prosperity gospel came through. I don't have any problem with the word.
Right.
But what the ideal was, listen, is that we would get so rich and so blessed, everybody would think, wow, I want some of that. But it doesn't spark that response. It sparks envy.
Yes.
And they think you're stealing from God, and you're stealing God. So that's why that was flawed in the beginning. The word part, confessing the word and believing God, that's all right. But the idea that if I have more stuff, people will want to know Jesus more is wrong. And it's not that I don't care how much stuff you got. I don't care how you got it. I'm just saying that if you're thinking that by having this stuff, I'm going to win people to Jesus, it's probably not going to work unless you start giving it away. You follow what I'm saying? So they go out, they're dwelling in this place, they've got so much stuff, so the first thing they do is they don't go find water. You got to have water, right?
Of course.
And so they went out and dug in the valley and found a well of running water. Holy cow! This is like the Cadillac of wells.
Yes.
This is an artesian well. It flows by itself. You don't even have to draw water out. This sucker's got chrome plating on it. And what happens? They found the well, they dug the well, but the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, no, that's ours. That's my well. And so he called the name of the well, click it for me, Strife. That was the name of the well, Strife. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this. What was Isaac's response? Here we go. See, so Isaac organized a protest, and he hired fact checkers to prepare for the upcoming series of debates. He filed a lawsuit about ads exposing past well thefts by the herdsmen of Gerar and formed a support group for those directly affected by the whole well incident. No, you know what he did? He dug another well. When he entered into strife, he said, you know what, you can have this, because the one that made this one will make me another one. I ain't got time to fool around with this argument and this depleting, draining, just god-awful process of trying to win an argument.
Yes.
He didn't send us down here to be right.
Yes.
He sent us to be righteous.
Oh, yes, sir.
Next page.
Wait.
Say
What?
that.
I can't write it all down fast enough. Okay.
So then they went there another way. Just like I said it's going to do. And guess what? The herdsmen came over there and they literally grappled with them. They didn't just cause strife. They started wrestling them to the ground. And over that one, so they called that name of that well attack. I'm going to tell you, the devil's going to try to mess with your head, and if it doesn't work, he'll just attack your person.
Come on.
Okay? And if you want to, you can camp out right here, and you can bow up, and you can fight back. There's a book that I made everybody read a long time ago called The Tale of Three Kings. And it talked about Absalom, David, and Saul. And what made David David is that when Saul threw spears at him, he didn't wrench him out of the earth and throw him back. He just did.
Yep.
Because the tendency is to, when you're being attacked, to defend yourself. Your flesh wants to defend itself. But God is saying, if you want to do that, then you can have that well from now on. You'll be right there, and there'll be strife, there'll be attack, there'll be trouble in your house, or you can do what they did. They dug another well.
Yes, that's so good.
So where are you at right now? See, I feel like some people, we all get stuck, we all get caught in here somewhere. And I'm saying, you know what, you can keep fighting this out and duking it out. One time I told my kids this, and I'm so ashamed of what I'm about to tell you. I mean, really ashamed. I got asked to go play somewhere, and I got wind that they didn't want that kind of music in their sanctuary. I'm thinking, you're inviting me. So they made me play outside under the pavilion when it was after a Friday night football game, and it was probably 40 degrees out there. So we just praise God. Well, it just stuck in my craw, and I thought, you know, who do they think they are? What do they do? So I started doing investigation. And I finally tracked down who the deacon was that made that comment supposedly. And I called him on his phone. I said, did you do this? I said, what? I've never said that in my life. And I thought, okay, well, you have a blessed day. And all that effort and heartache and bile from my liver gurgling up into my stomach, what for? It wasn't even real. But see, all he ever wants to do is he's got a hook in everything. I can just get you off your path. I'll get you distracted long enough. Come here, look at this. Listen to what they're saying. Look what they said. Look what they're doing. Read something into their expression. Read something into their text that gets you all stirred up.
Yes.
And you can sit there trying to fix all that, or just let's just dig it up.
Just dig it up. Well, that's right.
Because I'm not after your approval. I'm after water.
Yes.
Say it with me. Dig another way. Can you dig it? Next day. Well, so what happened? They moved from there, dug another well, and watch this. After a while, when you won't play their game, and you won't enter into their gossip, and you won't go into the place to where it's all stirred up, they'll finally leave you alone. I'm just telling you, if you just don't play, you won't talk about it. I heard Kenneth Copeland say one time, he said that somebody called him on the phone, one of his, I'm not going to name his name, but it was another well-known minister, and he said he wants to start talking about another guy. And Kenneth hung up the phone right in front of him. He said, man, did you hear about Click? Because he told him, he said, I will not enter into that. I'm not going there. I don't care if it's really juicy and everybody else in the world knows it but me. I'm not going there because there's something that comes with it that I've been taking months and years to get rid of. They did not quarrel with him, so he called his name Rehoboth. I think that's close enough pronunciation. Watch this. Because he said, for now, the Lord has made room for us. And we shall be fruitful in the land. Now watch this. Why is this important? Because see, at the beginning, they had that running artesian well. The next well was a step down, okay? The next well was one of those that's going, man, I could have had this in my house. I'm going to settle for this because they just said it was theirs. I could have fought them all. I could have handled them. Give me this other arm back. We'll go. Right?
Yes.
But I had to settle, I had to take a detour and accept for the moment something that seems to be a little less. But it's, see, why I said in the beginning, you know, like, don't go to Egypt. We're not going to dwell here. It's just a stop off, and I know it. Follow me? There's a difference between settling into, okay, well, this is my long life now. Or saying, okay, you know what, you've got a block here. That's okay. I'll just move around you. I'll go over here because I know in whom I have believed. I know what he's spoken to. And when he finally got to Rehoboth, or whatever it's called, the word means that you, Isaac said, he named this because he said, you've made room for me. But what God was saying is, no, you made room for me.
Yes, amen.
Because sometimes we can get ourselves painted in a corner. It's got to be this way. The only way I'm ever going to be happy is if he does it just like this, if it happens just this way. And so you're standing there painted in your little corner with your strife and your attack, and you're not free, and there's no water flowing, but I got to have it this way to be happy. And God said, I can't get to you. Right. But if you'll leave me room, I'll give you everything. Because not only did that word involve just the well, it meant everywhere from horizon to horizon. And see, that's what he's got in mind for you. Not what you're praying for, but what he's wanting you to see in him.
That's right.
Next page. Why is this important? Because in James chapter 3, y'all still with me?
Yes, sir.
Verse number 16, I know people can quote this verse, but you need to look up. It says, where envy and strife exist, there's confusion and every evil. The doorway to, look at me, the doorway to everything Satan wants to do in your life is through envy
That's right.
and strife.
That's right.
That's why it's so important that we learn today to start digging another well. I ain't playing. You can go ahead and just call me whatever name you want to. I'm over here. I'm looking for water, not your ugly face. So we're just going to go this way. Right? I called you ugly because you look ugly. If you want to smoke, if you want to brighten up and get happy, I'll call you pretty. But as long as you're going to act like that, look like that, you ugly. You ain't got no alibi. Right? Say this out loud. For where envy and strife exist, confusion, and every evil work are there. What did he say? Paul wrote that God is not the author of what? Confusion. The first way you know it's not God is if there's confusion.
Yes.
It may look like God had Jesus written on it and everything, but if there's confusion, it ain't Him.
Right.
Next verse. Hebrews 10:34 says, "For you had compassion on me in my chains, and joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods." What kind of idiot can say, I'm so glad they stole my stuff? Right? That's kind of just, you look at him like, man, you need your lithium. I don't know. But he said, you joyfully took the plundering of your goods. How can you joyfully take the plundering of your goods? You know something.
That's right.
This is not my first rodeo. I know that the one that brought the first batch to me has got a whole bunch more. And so if this one goes, that's okay. I'm not tied to this emotionally. I'm not having my faith hooked into some possession. I know who gave it to me, and I know who can give me another one. I've got a far better enduring substance in heaven.
Hallelujah.
That's where it came from. That's where it's going back to. So, I'm just everybody in here, we're on a lease.
Yeah.
We don't. If you think you own your home, just don't pay your property tax.
There you go.
See how that works out.
Yep.
Next page.
Mom.
I'm about done. It says what looked like God's best wasn't. I can't tell you how many times you look back on your life. How many times it just had to be this. I got exactly what I wanted. Boy, I'm thinking that was not what I wanted. One time I wanted a big conversion van. Because we had 3 kids and 3 car seats, and we were on the road all the time, and I thought, what if I had big vans? So I started writing out exactly what I wanted, right? And somebody called me from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and says, I got it right here. Hit every point. And I said yes before I even looked at it. Because I thought, there you go. And Lord God, what a rust bucket, freaking, they caught on fire everywhere we went. I'm thinking, Lord, it was the biggest nightmare. It had a little VCR, y'all know what those are back in olden times? And so the kids would watch the same video end after end after end. But it wouldn't work, so Sherry had to stick her hand up in the circuit card thing and jiggle it to make it work. Everything in our house at one time worked if you jiggled it. But anyway. And so here I had painted God in the corner because it had to look just like this. Instead of saying, God, I really want to be able to travel around and have something that works. And I had it down to color and all that. I'm thinking, we can do all that. And that's kind of engaging this little thing in my skull that thinks it knows everything, but really doesn't know hardly anything. And if I don't trust the author and the finisher of my faith, the creator of the entire universe, maybe he has a better idea.
Amen. Yes.
So we're going to dig another well. All right, let me address my note. And I'm not on any pain meds, in case you think. What looked like God's best wasn't His best. Sometimes it will appear to you. I see so many people, I know I'm going to preach every comment, but I'm telling you, this is the thing that I can't understand. People will get in relationships, and they're not the person. And everybody around you is going, they're not the person. But they've hit like 3 of my 1,000 points. Surely they're breathing. They have a car. They're thinking about getting a job.
That's good.
And so they'll just give their heart away. And I'm saying, you know what? It may look like God's best, but have you checked? Because let me tell you, God's got a little bullet point thing too. It's called His Word. And if they don't hit those points, He ain't the guy or she ain't the guy. Strife and envy allow the devil to enter your space. Will you say that out loud with me? Strife and envy allow the devil to enter in my space. He cannot affect you. He cannot afflict you. He cannot torment you unless you give him permission. What gives him permission is when you engage in strife and envy and confusion. You stay there fighting for that well instead of saying, I'm done, and dig you another. And if you want the devil in your life, keep at it. If you want peace and joy and the fruit of the Spirit, go dig you another one. Because whatever you lose along the way, it either wasn't it, or if it was, he'll bring it up. By not engaging in strife or answering the attack, they left room for God to correct or steer them into his abundance. And I'm just saying, we're living in a time where it's almost like, you remember when people in the Army Special Forces and stuff like that, when they're going to fly those helicopters, they'll give them what they call bag time. And what they'll do is they'll black out all the windows on the helicopter, and they have to learn to fly by the instruments. In other words, they can't go by what they're seeing. They have to go by what's telling them the truth. John F. Kennedy Jr. died in a plane crash because he did not trust his instruments. He trusted what he saw, and he got turned around and crashed and died. And I'm telling you, we're living in a time where what you've been hoping to see and kind of banking on, it may not be there at all. You got to know, you got to fly by what you know. You got to steer by what he's telling you to do. Even if it doesn't look like it's the smartest move, do it anyway, because you can blame it on him if it doesn't work out. Next page. Maybe done. The problem, this is it. That's my question. Can you dig it? Let's stand together. I want prayer with some of you. We'll put on digging music on. And because funny thing is that people act squirrely about prayer time and altar time and all that. And I don't have one hand down. It's kind of weird. It's all right. Would you open it for me? It's pretty good. One time, I appreciate y'all jumping to my aid. Let me tell you a story. One time, Coach Bear Bryant was being indicted. He and another coach, I think it was Vince Dooley, they were being accused by the Atlanta Constitution, the newspaper, for fixing a score, shaving points. And the prosecuting attorney, the DA, said, I knew I'd lost the case. When Coach Bryant got into the witness chair, and he started going, I forgot my reading glasses, and every juror stood up and handed there. Yeah, we're not going to win this. No, we're not going to win that at all.
Here you are, Roll Tide.
Yeah, there you go. That's okay. Anyway, so let's just pray, David. Here's what I say. Every one of us, if we're being honest, we come up on this. We want something really bad, or we think we want something really bad, or something's really important to us. And we meet it with opposition, and the devil says you can't have it. And I think I should have it, and I get fixed on the thing instead of on what the thing is going to produce in my life. It wasn't the well they were after, it was the water. And so wherever the water comes up is really irrelevant, isn't it? It's just about, not that I can put my name on this well and say, see, that's my well. It's to say, I just need water. And so when something comes up against you and you've been banging your head against the wall and you've been trying to figure out how to do it, I'm telling you, it's the same story that when Paul was on that ship, you just got to let her dry. You just got to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to let you have that mess. I'll start right over here. I'll do another thing over here. And then when the attack comes, you go, well, I can bow up and I can answer in kind and resist them and fire back and be just as ugly as they are. Or you know what? I can maintain that character of Jesus I've thought so precious in my life. Let them have the fight. Walk away. Even if they call you a coward. Because my job is not to be thought of as brave. My job is to produce water. And after a while, I'm so proud with somebody. I feel like some of you have been battling and you've been through a mess. You've been trying find a hard time to find joy and the sunlight and the blue sky in your life. And I'm just saying, I think that the reason that it's going on is we got to get rid of the strife. We got to get rid of the struggle. We got to get rid of the thing. If there's envy in your life, and if you say, you know, I'm getting older and I should be somewhere I'm not, or I look at people around me and they got that new car, they got their problem solved. God, why don't you solve in mine? You're introducing envy into your relationship with God. And it's time to say, Lord, you know what? You are not a respecter of persons. And I know you're faithful who has promised. And I'm just going to keep walking, keep doing what you tell me to do. I'm going to dig over here because in a minute, I'm going to outrun these guys that are chasing me. And I'm going to find your best for my life. And then I'm going to find a well that has no limits. Because not only do I get the well, not only do I get the water, I get all the land. I get everything. So why don't you just put your arm on our neighbor and let's just pray for each other this morning. Lord, if that's been us, if we've had any struggles that we just can't get past, Lord, just wipe that mess away. If they won't fill it up with dirt, let them fill it up with dirt. I'm going to dig another well. If they want to be envious, they want to attack me, they want to do things hard to me, I don't care. I'm going to keep going. It's not about me anyway. It's not about me. The reason they don't like me, the reason they are envious of me, is your blessing on my life. It's your presence on me. And I'm not going to make an apology for that. But I'm not going to cloud their understanding of what that feeling is by being ugly back. I'm going to show them the character of Jesus who laid his life down. So Lord, we just thank you that you just show us a new place to dig. Give us joy and a hop in our step. Put a spring in our tail like Tigger. And let's walk out of here. Have a great day. Have a great week. And we'll come back right here and praise you and love you again next week. In Jesus' name. Everybody said, amen.